All right, hello and welcome everybody to the third place match in this Firecracker tournament. We've got a rematch of an 11-10 thriller yesterday between the Pueblo Azteca and the Rocky Mountain Lobos. The Lobos come into the game 3 for 3. They played an extra game of pool play because one team dropped out. They stepped up to the challenge, though they lost that to Papillion. So they are 3-3. Pueblo comes in 3-2. Maybe could have made the championship game if it weren't for the spoiler being played there by the Lobos. So pitching for this Azteca team is Roy Higginbotham. He plays first base sometimes. It's 0-1. The leadoff man for Rocky Mountain is Nate Eliason. He is currently on the runs leaderboard. I think he's tied for... No, he's third on runs leaderboard for this tournament right now. That's a strike, so Higginbotham makes it 1-2 really quick. Rocky Mountain, known for getting hot at the start of games. They always seem to put up a good 4 or 5 in the first few innings. That's a strike 3 right down the middle. So Higginbotham retires Eliason. Out number 1 is recorded. Kieran Long now up. He has 7 hits in this tournament. That puts him tied with Brady Hall on this team for the most hits total. He has played 6 games. So 0-1, Higginbotham doing well. It's a little bit warmer, maybe 65 out here. 0-1. That's a strike. I have noticed that this is the one game where Mike Casillas' hoodie would work, but he's not playing in this one. Frowny face. Alright, 0-2. That's strike, no. A little bit high, 1-2. I thought he got strike 3 again. Higginbotham locating really well right now. Kieran Long trying to get the first hit of this game. 1-2. Smacked into left, underneath it. You're going to let it bounce. So a single there. Long does get the first hit of the game, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Phoenix West. West is 4 for 19, but he has a million walks and has been hit by 4 pitches in this tournament. So he's black and blue, but he is playing good. Oh, they switched up who was top and bottom of the inning. That's on me. So that's smacked, flared into left, and play is made by the left fielder for Pueblo. That's Brady Cristelli, and that'll be out number 2. I'll get you those lineups here in just a minute.
Next up,
and
number 18, Brady Hall.
I'll switch around the top and bottom of everything because the Lobos are currently hitting. It was different a minute ago when I was making the scoreboard. So they hardly even a throw, almost just a flinch from Higginbotham. Pueblo, at a moment there, looked like they could win this whole tournament. They looked really good, and were 3-0 coming into this game, or coming into the game against Next Level. They lost that one 10-2 after beating them for 5 innings and leading 2-0 in a close one. Eventually, Easy Rojas ran out of steam, and Pueblo was coming off of an 8-7 win over Papillion. So they were gassed and in their 6th or 7th consecutive hour of baseball, and eventually Next Level just exploited that. Going for second is the runner. The throw is on target in time. A tag to the face applied, and that'll be the final out of the inning. The caught stealing successful by the Pueblo catcher, Sean McGinty, and that'll be the top of the first. Nobody scores in the top of the first. Azteca will have a chance to take the lead in the bottom. All right, so recap that inning. Rocky Mountain 1 hit, no runs, no earned runs, there were no errors, and nobody left on base. It's 0-0. Let me check, let me move around the stuff on the scoreboard for you all. right, there we go. We are all set now. Got the scoreboard in the correct order. I'll give you the Pueblo Azteca starting lineup as they're about to come to the plate for the first time. Leading off for them is the designated hitter, Jonathan Gonzalez. He is batting .500, doing great. Then the shortstop, Easy Rojas, possibly the best player in this tournament. He is right there with John Gonzalez from Next Level as the player of the tournament. Then first baseman will be Tyler Clements. He has 2 dingers. That is tied with Easy Rojas for most in the tournament. Then cleanup right fielder Jason Arriola. Then the catcher Sean McGinty is 5. Third baseman Colton Calderon is 6. Then left fielder Brady Cristelli is 7. And center fielder will be Braxton Vale for the first time. He will be at 8. And Ethan Ayala will be cleaning up at 9 at second base. Roy Higginbotham on the mound. Pitching right now for Rocky Mountain is Ross Frank. Frank, if I'm not mistaken, was the one to earn the win, and that's a swing and a miss. So that's a first pitch. That's a strikeout of the leadoff man Gonzalez.
Number 34, Easy Rojas.
So Easy Rojas has been nigh unstoppable in this tournament. He leads the tournament in batting average, batting 8 for 12, 665. That's maybe in play. The catcher not going to be able to get it.
Just a reminder to keep your eyes on the ball at all times. To return all foul balls to the ticket booth.
So Easy Rojas has been incredible. He has 2 home runs. That's good for best, and he's also leads in RBIs. He is 1 behind in total homers to that aforementioned John Gonzalez, though he has a better batting average. So Easy looking to get something started here. He had a pair of foul balls, makes it 0-2. Frank was the starting pitcher who earned the win against Missoula in the first game of this tourney. That's taken off of the plate, so 1-2. He had a great game out there in an 8-2 victory over Missoula. Fouled off. And it remains 1-2. Azteca at least trying to finish third. They came in, they started out 3-0. They look like contenders for the whole thing. Swing and a miss on the outside ball, able to get the stretch out slider to work, and Ross Frank strikes out the first 2 men he faces.
Next up, first baseman, number 25, Tyler Clements.
Up comes Tyler Clements, the CSU Pueblo Thunderwolf from Basha High School in Chandler, Arizona. He has 2 homers in this tourney. That's tied with Easy for the most. And this Pueblo team has the most homers in this whole thing. And it's just from 2 guys. So 0-1, Clements swings high. That's popped up into the infield. Calling for it is nobody. Nope, the second baseman wants it. He makes the grab, and that'll be the inning. So a quick 1-2-3 for Ross Frank, and the Lobos retire the first 3 for the Azteca quite easily.
Definitely was not expecting a pair of zeros to come up on the board after the first inning. That we have seen these 2 teams explode a number of times throughout the pool play here at the 2023 Firecracker tournament, and here we go. It has been definitely the exception of Premier West and that 10-run inning they had in the 3rd inning of the 7th place game last game about an hour ago. We have not seen a lot of offense today. I think the weather's been definitely a factor, and for whatever the reason, we have just not seen the offensive outbursts and the base traffic. Earlier today in the 5th place game, we had a 9-inning game this morning. Papillion Post 32, the Pinnacle Bank team from Papillion, Nebraska, victorious 1-0 over the Missoula Mavericks. Congratulations to both teams in that game. Missoula, of course, knocked off number 18 ranked next level baseball from Asheville. And for the Papillion Pinnacle Bank team, they finished their trip to Rapid City with the pair of victories. And here with the 2nd inning is Oliver Fell.
Okay. Well, to lead off for Rocky Mountain, it is their leading hitter, Brady Hall. He's been great all tournament. He's 7 for 17, and he will lead things off. Coming back out for his second inning of work is going to be the pitcher Higginbotham. He allowed the one hit earlier and then nothing really came of it. That is a ball. He got help from his catcher, Sean McGinty, who got the man running to second. This Rocky Mountain team, far more offense than defense normally. Swing and a miss. They are the highest scoring team in this tournament by total runs, though it should be noted that next level is pretty close in average runs, I believe. I think they have the most average runs, but that is they only played 4 games. This team played 6, so difference there for total runs. So 1-2 to Hall. Higginbotham got a strikeout looking back in the first. He delivers high and up, so it'll be 2-2. Grady Hall not been too good at taking walks in this tourney. He only has 1 in his 18 plate appearances. 2-2. Taken high and inside, so full count now for Higginbotham. Taken high, so he does take his second walk of the tourney, and a leadoff walk by Brady Hall will start things out for Rocky Mountain. Hall doesn't have a steal in this tournament. It should be noted. Brady Mollett now up. He leads this tournament in walks with 6. That's grounded. Never mind. Lined foul. So 0-1. All right. Got a fly in here. Mollett having a so-so tourney. He is batting over 300, but has 4 runs, 4 RBIs. That's pretty normal for how many games are being played. That's a throw to first, throw to second. Did they get him? No, able to throw a little bit high, and the tag not applied in time by Ayala. That'll be enough, and a stolen base for Hall. His first of the tourney will get a man in scoring position. The throw was fast enough. It would have gotten there and been able to be tagged, but it was not on target. It was a little too high, and it took too long to pull down the ball for the tag, and that allowed the runner Hall to get to second base. We saw a red-breasted nuthatch just now. So 2-1. That's going to be smacked into right, going after it, and it's caught. So Pueblo gets that. They throw. It's not going to be in time, and the runner will advance on a fly out. Sorry to scare all of you with whatever noise just happened. There was a fly on the microphone. I had a good shot. I swear.
No, it's a cold day outside, so the fly likes the warmth inside our booth. It's kind of like sometimes you have a fly that gets inside your car or your truck and just can't get that fly to want to go outside because it's a lot cooler outside than it is inside the car.
That's going to be smacked into left center. It's going to land. So coming home to score is Hall. That'll be the first run of the game on an RBI single from Eric Bergquist. When building out what I thought would be the leaderboards for all of the pool play stuff, I missed some players who didn't play in the final game of their team's schedule. Bergquist was not on the starting lineup against Papillion, so I missed him. Bergquist actually would rank second in tournament stolen bases with 4. He is a dangerous man on the base paths. Only played a few games as well. Swing and a miss! Up to bat is going to be Aiden Nelson. Nelson batting a pretty good 5 for 13. at one point was batting a third in the tournament. I believe he was batting 5 for. No, he's batting 4 for 8 or 4 for 7, something like that.
You always hear about Game 7. Well, this is Game 7 for the Lobos.
True. Game 6 for Azteca. Third one against a team wearing maroon, as they played as they played Papillion out there, and then I guess it was bright yellow yesterday from this Rocky Mountain team.
Yeah.
I'm glad they wore it then. It was bright then. It's all dark now, so the muted colors feel a little more appropriate. So 3-1. Higginbotham throws it in the dirt, so another man on, one out here. Lobos have the lead and are looking to add to it.
Next up, designated hitter number 20, Elvis Conte.
Elvis Conti now up. He is 0 for 2, but does have an RBI ground out. They have the option for courtesy running at first. I don't think they used it. Stepping off the mound is Higginbotham. That's going to be ball 1. So 2-0. Count. That's a strike right down the middle for Higginbotham. Elvis Conti looking to add to this 1-0 lead the Lobos have built in the top of the second. So 3-1. Higginbotham, 2 men on, 3-1 count. He delivers a strike. It is going to be floated into center. So Conti gets his first hit of the tourney. Vale throws to second. No play to be made. And the bases are loaded with 1 out in the top of the second of this third place game.
Left fielder number 7, Walker.
Boy, did Conti pitch extremely well against the Post 22 Expos. He retired 11 consecutive batters before he had to be lifted going into, or was lifted going into the 7th inning against Post 22 Expos yesterday.
So another man that I forgot to add to the leaderboard because he wasn't playing in the team's final game was another Rocky Mountain player, Walker Tolpa. He went 6 for 9. That ties him with Easy Rojas, currently playing short out there for Pueblo, for the best batting average at 667.
And Walker Tolpa was the hero with that bases clearing triple
In the top of
against the Premier West team in that 15.
Ooh, he will be hit, and he will take his base. Not how he wanted to do it, but he will take it. And the Lobos get one walked in on the hit by pitch. Higginbotham has to control himself. Still 1 out here in the top of the second. Higginbotham ought to be sick and tired of getting hit. He's been hit 5 times in this tourney in the last 5 days. He's had quite a few bruises, I bet. He's not the only man to get hit that much. There were 4 hit by pitches on Kieran Lawing and 4 on Phoenix West. There are just a lot of hit by pitches against this Rocky Mountain team. They didn't play necessarily the most controlled pitching, and that shows in the score lines of plenty of their games. Alright, they're going to have to talk with Higginbotham real quick. He has bases loaded, 1 out. He was able to get out of the first spotless. Of course, Azteca probably running a little bit low on pitching depth in day 5 of this tournament. So bases loaded for the leadoff man, Nate Eliason. Eliason has 6 RBIs. He pops it up, out of play. 0-1. Catcher doesn't bother to stand up for that one. Eliason struck out looking in the first at-bat against Higginbotham today. We're cheering for somebody that got the ball. Okay, 0-1. Taken just a little bit inside, dropped by the catcher, McGinty. 1-1 now. Rocky Mountain a chance to give themselves a big lead. They got to watch out. They had a 6-run lead entering the 7th against Pueblo and allowed 5 runs before just narrowly avoiding the comeback completion. Did he go? I think he went. Ooh. A no-go call. So that is going to be a ball. I thought that he had gone. I thought that the check swing was not successful. 2-1. Higginbotham delivers inside. 3-1. All right. Eliason staring down a 3-1 against Roy Higginbotham. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the top of the 2nd. That's a ball 4 off of the plate. And that walks in another Lobo. They now lead 3-0.
Well, we've seen this pattern a number of times, including the Lobos win over Premier West, where they put up a big number in the early innings. Rocky Mountain was able to get on top of Premier West from Arvada, Colorado, 7-0 in the top half of the first inning 2 days ago, and the Lobos are at it again as they are up 3-0 with 3 runs coming here in the top half of the 2nd.
Yeah, they're good at jumping on top of teams, usually not in walks, usually with hits. But it's working out just fine for them. Coming in, Higginbotham will leave for the dugout. His day is over.
Well, we've learned a lot about the Lobos over the course of a half-dozen games in these last 4 days, and one of the things we've seen, besides the fact the Lobos like to jump on top of teams, or are good at jumping on top of teams, sometimes they've been known to take their foot off the gas, and that could be an issue because the bullpen for the Lobos has not been as effective as they wanted it to be. But that being said, if they can put up 11 runs like they did yesterday against Pueblo Azteca, and we saw this play out in dramatic fashion, it can be enough for the Lobos to win. No
They
matter
had
how
just
the
enough
bullpen
last
performs.
night as they allowed a 5-run rally on 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, and they just got out of it.
It was a phenomenal game, and the Lobos needed every one of those 11 runs to take down Pueblo Azteca and eliminate Pueblo Azteca from the title game of this tournament.
Okay, so now in for this, now in here for Rocky Mountain, for Pueblo, is going to be Carter Norris. Wow, why didn't they start with him? The D1 or the D2 Thunderwolf from Texas pitched I believe he pitched Yeah, he pitched that first game against Missoula. He was tremendous. I don't know if he was available. I don't know why they started Higginbotham. Carter Norris, a D2
But who
pitcher.
are we to say? We don't know. We're not this close to the team as the coaches are for Pueblo Azteca.
I suppose,
They
but
know what to
they
do.
just brought in their ace, is all I'm saying.
Okay, well they know what to do.
Yeah, that's low. So 1-1. They brought in their ace just now. Carter Norris is the real deal from Weatherford, Texas. He's playing because he plays at CSU Pueblo, the D2 school out there in the RMAC. And so he is 18 under at the start of the season, so he's able to play for this team as well. That's a strike.
Somebody very famous is from Weatherford for Texas. Do you know who it is?
Sheldon Cooper.
No, I don't know. I don't know who it is, but I just know there is a major pro sports star from Weatherford, Texas. I know this. I just don't know who.
Randy Johnson. I'm just plugging in guess. Weatherford, that is going to be a swing and a miss at one of the dirt. So there we go. First strikeout of the game for Norris.
Next up, number 17, first baseman, Phoenix West.
So K number 1 there for Norris. And now coming up Phoenix West, he'll be the last man to bat in this inning as they go around the order. Zach Britton? I don't think that's what you think it is. No. Zach Britton is from Weatherford, Texas, the former Rolaids Relief Pitcher of the Year in 2018 for the Orioles. And that's all I got.
Oh, it's Taylor Sheridan.
I don't know who that is.
Well, that's who wrote Yellow, he's the superstar TV filmmaker, the series of 1883 and 1923 and Yellowstone.
Oh.
Okay, there you go.
That's grounded. That's not your sports star, though. That's grounded
No,
over to
it
second, handled, and Ayala throws to first. So Norris comes in, he puts out the fire, and the Lobos are stuck at 3 runs. They do cash it on 3 and now have a 3-0 lead entering the bottom of the second.
Taylor Sheridan, the biggest name in filmmaking these days. So Weatherford, Texas is in my head from somewhere. I guess that's where it came from.
You do not know where Taylor Sheridan is from.
It says right
Yeah,
there.
I know, but you didn't know that at
all.
all.
No, somebody said Weatherford, Texas, and I just was like, somebody really famous is from that small town in Texas, and sure enough,
It was Zach Britton.
it was not Zach Britton.
It was
Taylor
Zach Britton,
Sheridan,
Rolaids Relief
the
Pitcher of the
creator
Year.
of Yellowstone, 1883 and 1923, and Tulsa King, and many others.
AL Reliever of the Year in 2016 and the AL Saves leader for the Orioles.
It was not Zach Britton.
Zach Britton is
He's
national
a fine
pleasure.
player, but that's not who I was thinking. It was Taylor Sheridan.
I don't think you were thinking at all. I think you just got lucky. And you got to pick from a list of 20 names.
Sorry, Oliver. I really think I didn't get lucky. I think I just heard Weatherford, Texas, and Taylor Sheridan somewhere recently, and there you go.
All right. Hello, Igor. How you doing? We're doing well. It is the first. It is the bottom of the second here. Pueblo trying to change things. They got first 3 were all out in order against Ross Frank, who had a great game against Missoula to open up this tourney. He's going to Jason Arriola. I've showed a lot of restraint. All right, 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Oh, 2. Pitch. Outside. Make it 1-2. Arriola is batting a .500 batting average. He fouls that one away. He's cleaning up today. So it's 1-2. He's 3 for 6 with a run, 3 RBIs, and 2 doubles. He was catching in one of these games. He's playing right today. That's a strike on the edge of the zone. Frank able to get it to work. So out number 1 recorded. That's Frank's 3rd strikeout. He is just, taking down Aztecs like Hernan Cortez. All right, Sean McGinty now up, taken off of the plate. I do really like the Azteca logo. It's got the Mexican waddle, I think is the name of that headdress.
Yeah, I do too. And hats off to Azteca. They didn't just take the San Diego State Aztecs logo and borrow it, like so many times you see high schools or different programs do. They just take the college or the pro logo and just, say, hey, can we use yours? It's good to see the original logo.
Well, they have nothing to do with SD of any sort, which makes it harder. Because that's part of the logo, is the S and the D in there. But it's P, Pueblo. It would be PA for Pueblo Azteca. So 2-2 here to the catcher McGinty. Frank looking for his 4th strikeout. He nearly gets it there, just gets a piece of it.
I really like the river walk in Pueblo.
It is cool. It is cool.
Take a paddle boat, put down the river walk.
Yeah. All right, 2-2. That's smacked into right. No handle by the second baseman, who was playing deep on a shift, and they get the out. The shift able to help that out happen, and it is snagged by, that is Nate Eliason at second.
I didn't know that was a shift. I mean, he was.
It was. He was playing in the outfield. Yes, there he is right now.
Yeah, okay.
He's playing in the outfield grass.
My bad. You're right. By the time I saw him, he had moved ahead into the infield. Dirt.
Yeah, he was significantly shifted in the right territory, expecting some opposite field contact. All right, so out number 2 now in this inning. Calderon, he fouls that one off. Colton Calderon is 0 for 5, has a walk and an RBI. He always seems to run up pitch counts, though. That's slightly low. Frank loses his hat.
I really like hitters like Jackson, Dirksen, Profar that are just masters at running up pitch counts.
Yeah, so Calderon, although 0 5, he's taken about 50 pitches. So there we go. There's another foul. Let's count. 4. Frank looking for his 4th K of the day. He has not allowed anybody on so far in this one. 1-2. That's going to be hit high into left center. And going underneath it and making the grab out there is, that's Kieran Lawing making the final out of the inning. So, Frank, perfect through 2. And the Pueblo Azteca trail 3-0 going into the top of the 3rd.
Stay tuned. The championship game comes your way next. The 48th annual Post-22 American Legion Firecracker Tournament Grand Finale. First pitch set for approximately 4:30. The Post-22 Hard Hats.
They got a chance at it.
4-0 in pool play. Will take on the Next Level Baseball team from Asheville, North Carolina. 3-1 in pool play. What a game it will be. We will have it for you live with Oliver Fell, voice of Hard Hats TV, and Dylan Marsh, recently retired from the Post-22 Hard Hats, just doing an outstanding job with working with Oliver. And this is going to be a great game and a fun broadcast. You don't want to miss it. It comes your way next at 4:30, right here on Hard Hats TV.
All right, so Carter Norris, he's got the last 2 out with bases loaded there. Stranded 3 runners in what could have been a far worse situation. Oh yeah, happy 4th of July. You had your Canada Day up there, like you were saying over the weekend, I think. It's
I think July 1st is Canada
yeah.
Day. Yeah.
That would have been Saturday.
Yep.
So yeah, we got our own here. But yeah, able to. I'm glad we can all celebrate.
Yeah, shared us with Igor.
We both had the same dad who had to leave the UK. So technically, I think Canada still is under the royal crown, but they run themselves, and uh, it's only like technically that they're still controlled.
Yeah.
It's like Australia. I mean, it's completely independently run, and they wouldn't be able to stop the Canada from doing anything they wanted. He stayed, so 1-1 to the batter, which is going to be it's Brady Hall. Hall led off with a walk, stole a base, and came around to score in the last inning. 1-1. Taken high. 2-1. Do have somebody here, I believe, for the news that's getting some video out here.
Yeah, it looks like Jerome Wickersham's brother that works for News Center 1, the NBC affiliate in town.
So it's 2-2. Norris has got a. I mean, I know he's nervous on camera. Smacked up into the sky and foul. It might land on us. There it is.
There it is.
All right, 2-2.
Just a reminder, keep your eyes on the ball at all times. Make sure all balls stay legal.
I had a close call earlier today. One that landed about 4 feet from going into the box on one that I wasn't looking at. I was looking up the weather. That looks like a strike, but it came out of the glove of McGinty, and that makes it a lot harder to sell the umpire on it. So full count for Norris. Here to the leadoff man, Hall. Hall drew that walk last time to start off the hitting, or start off the streak, which would become 3 runs. That's going to be hit hard into center. Running back for it is Vale. It's going to get over him. It's getting to the wall. So now Hall, he's rounding second, headed for third. He will be able to reach safely. Brady Hall, his second triple of the tournament, and that's how you lead off an inning.
Wow, he struck that ball and took it a long ways. And, you know, when you can get the ball to land in that particular part of Fitzgerald Stadium, your distance from where that ball will be retrieved to where it has to come back to the infield is a long distance, and that's easily a triple in that right power alley gap.
And it's low, so 1-0. This is Brady Mollett, or Bradley Mollett. Mollett trying to bring in Hall. Norris throws a strike. Good break on that one. 1-1. No ball. That was a ball? Okay. Okay, that was a ball. 2-0. Norris smacks over to third. Handled cleanly. Throw to first. In time. Runner will stay. So out number 1 is recorded, and Hall will stay at third.
Next up, right fielder, number 23, Eric Bergquist.
Eric Bergquist now up. Batting 5 for 12 on the tourney now after an RBI single to start off the hitting in the second. Rocky Mountain trying to add to their lead, get a sweep over Pueblo. Norris throws a strike right down central. 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Norris throws one that's going to be hit softly into center. Vale gets it. He's going to try to throw home. The pitcher not in time. Not by a bit, so that'll be a sac fly, scoring the Lobos' 4th run of the game.
That was a great throw by Vale from center field.
Yeah, it didn't have a juice.
But, well, it had the location. It had the, but really that was from quite a distance away. Lobos 4, Azteca nothing.
That being said, speaking of which, we have seen Kieran Lawing make that exact kind of throw. He's made a pair of beautiful throws from center field to get guys out in the 2 games that that they played yesterday.
Oh man, he had one yesterday that was, or maybe it was on Sunday. It was incredible.
He did one on both.
Both were incredible. He's got a gun.
Hmm. You got a man running from pretty much that same position Vale is in right now, against this Pueblo team to get an out at home. 2-0. Norris pitching now to Aiden Nelson, the catcher. That's a strike. So 2-1. Eli Kelly is wearing jeans and watching from outside of the warm-up pen. The Hard Hats will play later today. That's low, bounced, and so 3-1 count now to Nelson. Three one. Swing and a miss on the high heat. Great pitch there from Norris. He turned it up. So full count now. Bases empty, 2 outs. Nelson trying to prolong the inning. Norris, the payoff. Just got a piece of it and fouled into the dugout. Bounced off the trash can in there. And full count still. Swing and a miss at one in the dirt. Norris gets the K. The throw to first in time. That'll end the inning. So 1 run scores in the top of the third. The Lobos make it a 4-0 lead. And coming back out, Ross Frank throwing a perfect game through 2. I'll be back in a moment.
Mike Fell, Oliver's sidekick here on our Hard Hats TV broadcast. Happy you're all with us today. Earlier today, it was post 32. The Pinnacle Bank team from Papillion, Nebraska, winning in 9 innings, 1-0 over the Missoula, Montana Mavericks. That was a great game. Pitcher's duel throughout, and it was a winning run scoring on a wild pitch that decided that game in the bottom of the 9th inning. And then it was a Mercy Rule 5-inning victory for Premier West from Arvada, Colorado, giving the Post 22 Expos, the fill-in team here at the Firecracker tournament, their first loss in 3 games here in Rapid City this weekend with a 14-3 win in 5 innings. And now we are in our 3rd place game, and Rocky Mountain currently leads 4-0, and they have out-hit Pueblo Azteca through over 2 innings of play, 4-0. Neither team has committed an error. Back in the 7th place game, by the way, that first game of the day was the 5th place game, and so that means that Pinnacle Bank Papillion, Nebraska finishes 5th, and the Missoula Mavericks finish 6th. 7th place belongs to Premier West, who defeated the Expos, as I mentioned, in the 7th place game that was just completed. Expos were not formally a team in the field. They finished 2-1, make a great accounting for themselves. And the 6th place team, Missoula, they went 2-4, and they certainly accounted extremely well for themselves, being the only team to defeat Next Level Baseball last night in a thrilling 12-10 8-inning game that we had for you on Hard Hats TV. Of course, we've had every game on Hard Hats TV this week, and this is game number 22 of our 23-game showcase that we have for you today. And we're glad to have you with us. Mike Fell filling in for Oliver Fell, who is making his way back to the broadcast booth. Currently at bat for Pueblo Azteca, we have Vale. He grounds to second. Throw to first is in time. The first baseman, Phoenix West, for Rocky Mountain, really kind of folded or fell awkwardly as he took that throw. And I think they're going to check on Phoenix West and make sure Phoenix is okay. He just looks a little hobbled, a little disoriented, and he's reaching to the back of his neck. Kind of seems to be walking something off here, and let's hope Phoenix West is okay. Phoenix has played well in this tournament. Been a big part of the 6 games that the Rocky Mountain Lobos have played. Lobos having a good tournament, 3-3, and playing for 3rd place right here and right now. And looks like Phoenix will stay in the game. And the Rocky Mountain Lobos skipper, after checking on Phoenix West, decides that Phoenix is good to go. And we continue on. And now here's Oliver back from a brief hiatus.
All right, I'm back. Had to deal with something. So there's a strike. We've got 0-1 here. Frank still delivering a perfecto. Grounded, foul. So 0-2 count now. If you don't mind marking down stuff for this, whatever happened again in this inning so far.
Okay, sure.
All right, thank you. So 0-2, Frank here to Ayala, the 9-hole hitter. He smacks one over to third. Cleanly fielded, throw to first in time. No, but wait.
It is in time.
It is in time. He tried to tag him. He wasn't sure that Phoenix wasn't sure he was on the bag. He tried to swing a tag, would have missed Ayala, but that is in time. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. So through 3, no walks, hit by pitches, errors, or anything. Everybody retired in order for the Lobos. Perfecto underway for Ross Frank. The offense already has a lead, but they can't keep their feet off the gas because that has got them a few times now. And Carter Norris going to come out for his 3rd inning of work. This is our 22nd of 23 games on Hard Hats TV this week.
That's a lot of baseball. It's a good thing
Is.
you and I love baseball so much,
Yeah.
Oliver. We do. We live and breathe baseball, and it has just been just what's really made this tournament so amazing. It's just been the caliber of the teams and the competition. I mean, these are great baseball teams, and they have just given the fans that have come out to Fitzgerald Stadium in Rapid City, and they have given the fans who have been watching our 22 broadcasts and soon to be 23 broadcasts on Hard Hats TV just a lot of great moments. And it's been a 5-day extravaganza. I mean, it's hard to find a 5-day tournament that's going to measure up to what this tournament has. I would say that safely.
Yep. Okay, well. Elvis Conti now up. He got his first hit of the tourney on a single last time, got to 3rd and was left there when the bases were stranded by Norris in the 2nd inning. So 1 for 1 in this game, 1 for 4 overall. That's low. Good work there from what's his name?
We've had a
McGinty.
pitching change. Yep. Sean McGinty.
Yeah. We haven't had a pitching change. That's still Norris.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's Norris. You said Sean, and I just instantly thought of Sean McGinty.
Yeah, McGinty's on the catcher. He's a catcher.
Oh, okay.
But Norris has done it. I was just commenting on McGinty making a good behind the dish play. And it's fouled off of the stuff. Umpire says, I got this, I got this. So 2-2 count now to Elvis Conti. Igor's got a good prediction. 300 followers or 300 viewers for the game tonight. I'm thinking that that's very possible. All right, out number 1.
I am too.
Next up to play the left fielder, number 7,
And I'd say
Walker Rojas.
especially just because of the weather the way it is. I think that there'll be some fans that have come out the last couple of nights on the hot nights, and they're probably thinking, I think I'm going to watch the game on Hard Hats TV in the comfort of my living room.
So that's K number 2 for Norris in this game. That's taken off the plate 1. And he's throwing now to Walker Tolpa, who's batting at 6 for 9. He got a hit by pitch and brought in a run with that in the last time up. He was stranded on second in the second. So 1-1 count here for Norris. That one's going to be fouled off of the neck of our umpire.
And that was off the side of the umpire. I hope the umpire's mask was okay. It looks like that umpire's going to be, safe. I be okay, and that's good. Yeah, he's all right.
All right.
It's not easy to be an umpire. They sure take a lot of foul balls over the course of their summers.
All right, 1-2. Two one.
Wonder if Igor's already a big Dylan Marsh fan.
You gotta
like
wonder.
The both of us. Let us know, Igor.
2-2 count. Swing and a miss. Norris gets his third K to second of the inning, and we're at 2 outs now. Like I said, Carter Norris, a great pitcher here for Pueblo.
Yeah, Carter Norris. I can see why you so strongly endorsed Carter when he came onto the mound. He has just been a difference maker.
That's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Well, you got to remember, this guy is actively pitching at the D2 level. And that is something nobody else in this tournament can claim. Yeah, at the D2 level.
There are some commits to the D1 level.
Well, yeah, there are commits, but actively pitching D2.
That's a great point. That's right.
Having faced D2 competition all year. We've had NAIA, people like that. Palmer Jacobs at Mount Marty, he's actively pitching NAIA. That's going to be grounded over to short, handled cleanly. Rojas to first in time. So out number 3, a 1-2-3 inning with a pair of punch outs for the pitcher, Carter Norris, and it remains 4-0. Coming back out for his 4th inning of work, Ross Frank. He's throwing a perfecto at the moment.
Wow. That is really something to be pitching a perfecto as he takes his perfect game into the second time through the Pueblo Azteca lineup. And this is always what separates a perfect game effort from a non-perfect game effort, which is of course most efforts, and that is the second time through the order. What happens when the opposing hitters actually see that pitcher and their stuff for the second time? That's always a really big question that arises.
All right. So he's going to face the top 3. That's John Gonzalez, Easy Rojas, and Tyler Clemens. That's a tough top 3. He was able to do it last time, though, with a pair of punch-outs and a flyout.
Every inning that the Lobos starter can go is another inning that the Lobos bullpen does not have to make an appearance on. And
Well, they were 1 inning short of getting the win against the Expos.
That's right. 1 inning short. Felvis Conte had been able to stay in the game. A really good chance the Lobos would have closed out a game in which they were leading 4-1 in the middle of the 7th inning.
So 0-1. Gonzalez puts down a bunt. Frank picks it up. He throws to first in time. Out number 1 recorded. Bunt a little strong there from Gonzalez.
I'll tell you, you can tell this is not just another game for Ross Frank. He really got down there in a hurry, just about dove on top of that ball.
Yeah, well, soon enough the nerves are going to start kicking in for him. All right, Easy Rojas is up. He is hit into the shallow area of center. It's caught. Easy Rojas retired on one pitch.
11 up, 11 down. As Frank continues the developments of a masterpiece here in the third place game of the Firecracker tournament on the 4th of July.
Well, he's going to pitch against the Thunderwolf, Tyler Clements. Grounded over to first, and the second baseman get a flip. He gets in time. Man, that was a close one, but the second baseman, Nate Eliason, able to flip that one off. The Phoenix West was not going to go after it. He said, Nate, you're going to have to pick this one up.
They stayed true to their assignment, much like the Top Gun movie where it's always never leave your wingman. I mean, in that case, the assignment was cover the bag. The second baseman is to get the ball, and it all worked out. It just took a little longer to develop, but it all worked out. Wow, Frank now through 4 perfect innings. Could you imagine going through life and saying to your friends, your kids, your grandkids, yeah, I threw a perfect game on the 4th of July. Doesn't that just sound amazing?
In the Firecracker third place game, no less.
I mean, just to say, you don't have to add where it was. Just say, oh yeah, I threw a perfect game on the 4th of July. That's the stuff of legend. Legend.
Just like to remind you, the Firecracker t-shirts are on sale right now for $15.
We definitely have a developing story here in Rapid City with Ross Frank throwing 4 perfect innings. So if you have friends around the Lobos program and you wonder, are they watching? Maybe give them a call, text them, ask them. Just
send
make
this
sure,
to them, something like that.
Because this is history here in Fort Collins.
Or not in Fort Collins.
Well, for the team from Fort Collins. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
It would be history for
Fort Collins sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Now, Jason Arriola not Jason Arriola. This is Kieran Lawing leading off this inning against Norris. Norris went 1-2-3 in the last inning. He's had a great time out here. Hasn't allowed has 1 run allowed in his 3 innings of work. He's coming out for his 4th.
If you're pursuing a perfect game, it's kind of good to not only have a 4-0 lead, but be going up against an effective opposing pitcher.
Because it keeps you fresh?
Well, it keeps things in rhythm. I mean, it keeps things in rhythm. If the game moves faster, that conceivably helps Frank's perfect game bid move along even quicker.
All right, 2-0. Taken high, now 3-0. Chance to walk the leadoff man here for Kieran Lawing. He does have 4 walks in this tourney so far.
I just think it's harder to get a perfect game if you're sitting in the dugout and your offense is out there for 20 to 30 minutes.
Well, and it does seem like a lot of no-hitters are 1 or 2 run games.
Yeah, there's a reason for that, I think.
So there's a strike there, 3-1. 3-1 count here from Norris to Lawing. That's going to be smacked into right, but directly to the right fielder. So Arriola puts that one away. That was a hard-hit ball. Had that gone anywhere but right there, it probably would have gotten down for an extra base hit. All right, now up to bat, we have Phoenix West. He's 0 for 2 in this game, but has had a great tourney. 1-0. There's a beetle. Throw high, gets to the backstop, no consequence, nobody on, so it's 2-0 to Phoenix West. Phoenix is a strong first name, and there's a lot of city names being thrown around, mostly on the women's side of things that are like your London as a name, or Brooklyn as a girl's name. A lot of those being thrown around.
Please remember, bring all volleyballs back to the
But
table.
Phoenix, a really good boy's name, I think, and that's another city name. Also, of course, from ancient mythology.
Well, if you're a poker player, there's a chance your first name is Dallas.
That's true. Dallas Clark of the NFL as well.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard a few Lincolns. I think that's unrelated. I think that's more about the president.
It is.
3-1. That's a strike. So now full count for Phoenix West. I'm waiting till I meet a Vancouver Bradley. It's not that bad a name. Popped up into foul territory. It should be playable. The third baseman going after it. And, oh, he does not get it. That is Calderon. He loses it up there and cannot make the grab. The at-bat will continue.
I don't know how you can lose it with this without a sunny sky above. It's with the clouds and with the
And the
backdrop.
wind isn't that hard.
No, I don't understand what happened there, but errors happen in baseball, and there's a lot of things that are inexplainable.
So, full count. Norris then walks the man. So, given second life by the dropped foul ball, Phoenix West able to get a ride. That would go down as an error because he did reach base.
Yep. Great observation there, and that is the right interpretation.
So Brady Hall now up. He got that triple and came around to score earlier. He scored both of his times up. Also had that game with a single, a double, a triple, and a ground out against the Hard Hats a couple days ago. Aww. Aww. They're bonding. That's great. Alright. That's fantastic. Alright. You go, guys. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now. Love to see my chatters getting along.
That's great.
Alright, 0-2. West leading off of first. Norris on the verge of a K here against Hall. That's just a strike right down the middle. I thought it was. It was a little bit of a delayed call by the umpire. I thought I was going crazy. So out number 2 is recorded on 3 pitches with a strikeout looking of Hall. That is K number 4 now for Norris, and that'll bring up Bradley Mollett. Mollett been a good bat in this well-rounded offensive lineup that Rocky Mountain puts out there. It's hard to pick who's, you can't really pick one out as the one that's doing the most. Feels like all of them have their moments, but none of them stand out in that way. Just a well-rounded team. 1-0, that's grounded over to left, and Mollett gets a single. Now 2 men on, 2 out.
Has to be very frustrated right now for Norris because he should be out of the inning, but the error on the ball from Calderon has opened the gate for the Lobos, for the Wolfpack, to add to their 4-0 lead.
Up comes Bergquist. He got a RBI single back in the first, and he flew out. He flew out on a sac fly, so he has 2 RBIs now. He has a sac fly to bring in Hall and a ground out to bring in Hall, or in a single to bring in Hall. So 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. 0-1 count here to Bergquist. Bergquist got some sort of anglicized version of the original Swedish name with a U instead of a V. That's a swing and a miss, so 0-2. That seems to happen as people move into the country. The person on, you always hear that with Ellis Island stories.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever the person is writing down your name They just do it phonetically in the English terms.
Yeah, that a lot of times is how names become
That's why you got
what they
Anderson with
do.
an O instead of an E in America,
Interesting.
because Anders, a very popular name in Scandinavia. That's a swing and a miss. So Norris gets out of the inning with a K, and we enter the bottom of the fifth for Frank's fifth inning. The Pueblo Azteca once again buy themselves some more time to make a comeback.
Well, and Ross Frank will try to be perfect for a fifth consecutive inning. I don't know if this is a prediction, a prophecy, or premonition, but the scoreboard operator put a 0 in front of Pueblo in the bottom of the fifth and accidentally did not put a 0 in front of Rocky Mountain on the top of the
Yeah,
fifth. That's something kind of a little different, but
yeah.
here we go. Rocky Mountain leading 4-0. Ross Frank working on a perfect game as we go into the bottom of the fifth inning. This outstanding Pueblo Azteca team with the winning percentage over 75%. They are fighting with the Lobos for third place here in the Firecracker tournament. Lobos have their customary early lead, but things, as far as the pitching, appear to be on very solid ground as we go to the late innings, with Rocky Mountain featuring Ross Frank, who has managed to put 12 up and 12 down. And let's see what happens with the 13th batter to come to the plate. And here's Oliver Fell to tell you about it.
So he'll face the middle of the order again, the 4, 5, and 6. And Jason Arriola going to come up. He's now 3 for 7, batting a little under 500. He smacks one. That'll get through. So a single for Arriola will break up the no-no and the perfecto. And the cap is off of the proverbial bottle here for Pueblo. They're going to have a chance, and maybe this is when they rally.
A lot of times when a pitcher's working on a perfect game or a no-hitter, it's like a bubble that can be popped or burst, and then all of a sudden offense surrounds the end of what is a long streak towards perfection.
Yeah, Norris is definitely impressive. I'll have to say that. That is hit high into deep right and caught cleanly there. So out number 1 is recorded. The man will return back. That was the catcher McGinty. And now up comes Calderon. He hasn't gotten a hit. He's 0 for 6, but he just works up pitch counts. And he is coming off that error that he made at third in this last inning. That's off the plate, 1-0. This is, yeah.
Now for Ross Frank in the Rocky Mountain Lobos, just about getting outs. You're up 4-0, and you are 8 outs away.
We did jinx them.
From advancing to earning a third place finish here at the Firecracker tournament.
And no, you're not in mercy rule at all. I don't anticipate a mercy rule happening in this game. That's going to be floated into right, going back and making the grab is going to be yet again. That is going to be Berquist.
I was just going to say it. To me, it's not a jinx when you get over halfway through a game. That would be the 5th inning for a 9-inning game, or the 4th inning and a 7-inning game. To me,
you just got to talk about it.
You have to talk about it. The audience wants to
hear
about it.
Foul. It bounced on the plate and was picked up by the catcher.
If there's a jinx, it's the scoreboard putting a 0 on the bottom of the 5th inning and not putting a 0 on the Rocky Mountain top of the 5th.
Just want to say good work there, AWS. We heard you for the national anthem last night.
Oh, well, she was great.
Yeah. That's floated into shallow center, calling off and making the grab is Lawing. And so the single, the lone thing to happen in that inning, broke up the no-no and the perfecto, but only one runner allowed now for Ross Frank through 5. It's 4-0.
Ross Frank still has a 1-hit shutout working, and the Lobos are 6 outs away, leading 4-0 from winning third place and going back to Fort Collins with a winning 4-3 record here in the Firecracker tournament.
So to recap, the bottom of the fifth, Pueblo gets their first hit. No runs, no earned runs, no errors. 1 man left aboard. And now that is going to keep it 4-0. Pueblo needs to time their strike. Rocky Mountain, gotta hope they don't have to dip into the bullpen, because we've seen it where they've, like with Elvis Conti, where they have pitched a masterpiece for a long time and then the bullpen has to come out and all of a sudden a scoring explosion happens and they end up losing it. They just got to keep the starter out there as long as possible. I don't know what Frank's pitch count is, but he got to keep it down.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this all plays out, but if Frank can just stay on the mound and go the distance as he's pitching a 1-hit shutout, and he does not open the door for a beleaguered Lobos bullpen here in this tournament, then you have to feel really solid about Rocky Mountain's opportunity to finish third here in this battle of Front Range Legion
You're welcome.
powers, Pueblo Azteca and Rocky Mountain. Here's Oliver Fell with inning number 6.
Well, Rocky Mountain is looking forward to trying to add on to this lead. They have been stymied, though. Carter Norris, after coming in the second inning with the bases loaded and stranding him, has been positively cooking, only allowing the 1 run on the triple from Hall. And so, I mean, Norris has really silenced this very hot offense, able to keep Pueblo in this game in striking distance. That's going to be skied into center, Vale underneath it, making the grab. So out number 1. That was Aiden Nelson. Conti's going to come up.
Next up, number 22, Ben Kozowski.
Oh, Ben Kozowski now up. So pinch hitting for the DH is Ben Kozowski. He will be in place of Conti. Kozowski has both hit and pitched in this tournament. That's a strike right down the middle. So 0-1 to start off this at-bat for Norris. Swing and a miss in the dirt. And that's 0-2. 1-2, 1-2. I thought there was an extra pitch. So 1-2. Here. Swung on, grounded softly over to second. Ayala makes the grab, throw to first in time. So out number 2 comes there. Norris retires the first 2 in order, and that'll bring up Wrigley Cox, who is going to be playing left field instead of Walker Tolpa substituting. So Cox getting his turn. The fly has left the building. I am the best. All right, 1-0. He might be back in a moment anyways. 1-0 now. Norris delivers. It's going to be hit back to short and caught. That felt like one where I heard a loud noise. It felt like a hard contact, but no velocity came out behind it. I don't really know the science of that. Maybe one of his hands slipped. I don't know where all the rest of the energy went, but it just didn't add up. Anyways, 1-2-3 inning there for Norris. He works yet another good one, and Frank going to come back out for the 6th. Pueblo in need of their first runs of the game. So So in that inning, no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no errors, nobody left on base. It remains 4-0. Nobody scored since the third. Frank needs to being asked to do what I would assume to be a complete game. He's only allowed the one hit. That's all he's allowed so far this game against this Pueblo offense. Leading off in this inning for the second time he will be faced, it's Braxton Vale. Vale, a very chiseled physique, though at the moment he is batting 1 for 9. That is his number, 9. So batting 1 for 9. Braxton Vale up. He looks intimidating in the batter's box. He almost puts down a bunt. That's a strike. He shows bunt and pushes it, but not able to get anything. He's a loyalist. Thanks, Igor. Taken off the plate, 1-1. Popped up and in the dugout. Not being caught, almost off of the, it bounced off the netting there, so it would have been no longer playable anyways. But just barely foul enough for Vale. The wind probably brought that back in. There's a slight wind coming from left to right. That left field line over to out to right. So 1-2 is going to be hit, and blooper into center for Braxton Vale. His second hit of the tourney, and that's a leadoff single. Azteca maybe sparking something. Another leadoff single. Last time, Ross Frank was simply able to put away everybody after that. And yeah. Vale leading off. That's going to be hit high into shallow left. Coming in and making the grab there is Wrigley Cox. He is the defensive substitution after he pretty much pinch hit for Walker Tolpa. He makes the out, and 1 out now in the bottom of the 6th. 5 more outs for the Pueblo Azteca to stage their comeback. Ross Tolpa able to get another out. Or Ross Frank. I was thinking of Walker Tolpa. And here comes Jonathan Gonzalez. Going into the game, he was 3 for 6. He's now 3 for 8.
Of course, this game is a rematch, and we saw Pueblo Azteca rally for 5 runs in the 7th inning yesterday. So this game far from over, with Rocky Mountain on top 4-0 here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
So 1-1 count. A big swing and a miss there for Gonzalez. He nubs one off. Oh, this isn't Gonzalez. This is a pinch hitter. Number 13, please. Gabriel Wren will be pinch hitting for the DH.
He plays catcher. Ordinarily.
Yeah. He's played 1 game this tourney at catcher. That was the game yesterday between these 2 teams, I believe. Thank you all for tuning in. I know we got a lot of new people just tuning in for the stream from all around. If you enjoy us so much, leave us on your subscription. Just when you come around, that's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Ross Frank gets his, I believe that's his 5th strikeout of the game. Yeah, number 5 for Frank. That's out number 2 of the inning. And Easy Rojas is up. If somebody's going to spark something, it's going to be him. He's got 1 man on and 2 outs. I watched this team, this Pueblo team, put up a lot on 2 outs at some other point. My eyes are not deceiving me. Easy Rojas has on the hoodie in the Mike Casillas style.
Yeah.
He has the hoodie. Well, Casillas has been very good. So is Easy. 0-2, taken high. Going for second is Vale. He will be safe. The ball gets into center. He's running for 3. He's got to watch out for Lawing. Lawing throws off the mark. Vale slides past the bag and will be back. So that is a stolen base and an error. That'll get all the way, Vale all the way to 3rd. Easy Rojas just has to get a little bit extra. I wonder where Mike Casillas is right now.
I don't know, but you made a great point about 2 hours ago when it was really raining, maybe 4 hours ago, come to think of it, about sliding past the bag. And we just saw that happen with Vale right there.
Okay, well, Vale on third. That is fouled back. The count remains 1-2 to Easy Rojas. Rojas going the JUCO route despite being a top 500 prospect in America. That is something that apparently Coach Torvey for the Hard Hats also professes. That's a low ball. Frank almost locates there 2-2. Pueblo trying to stage a comeback. One run is the start. Swing and a miss! Easy Rojas goes down. He's frustrated. He slams his bat. Ross Frank gets K number 6 of the day, and he maintains the shutout through 6.
What a performance by Ross Frank from Fort Collins, Colorado. Mercy, what a tremendous performance by Ross Frank. And we saw Elvis Conte with a great performance against the Expos on Sunday. And let's see what happens next. The Lobos are only 3 outs away. They have not been able to add to their lead, and we've talked about this before. The Lobos have been known to get a lead and not build on it. They did build on that lead just enough to defeat Pueblo Azteca on Sunday, and now they're in that place, or yesterday rather, and now they're in that place where they're just trying to nail it down, close this thing out, and finish third place and have a very happy bus trip down to Fort Collins tonight.
Yep. Well, the Azteca will bring up Tyler Clements, Jason Ariola, and Sean McGinty in their due-up for the 7th. But in the top of the 7th, we will get to see Carter Norris, who is pitching a great game of his own. Already, he's pitched 4 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 1 run to score. That run was earned. And outside of that, he's racked up a total of 5 Ks over his innings, and has more or less contained this team, only allowing 2 hits. He also stranded 3 when he was called upon. Carter Norris doing great. The CSU Pueblo Thunderwolf, which is a great nickname. That is just barely tipped, I think. Anyways, 0-2 or 0-1. It was a very hard fastball. You could hear the snap in the glove. So, all right. Leading off this inning will be the real leadoff man, Nate Eliason. He bloops one into center, and a leadoff single for Eliason. He leads, he is, I believe he's third. Yeah, he's third in the tournament standings for runs. And that's a big thing there for Eliason in the top of the 7th, able to get a leadoff single. Last time somebody got a leadoff hit, they came around to score on Norris. Pitch. In the dirt, it gets away. And going to second now will be Eliason. So already in scoring position.
You know, this would not just be another insurance run if the Lobos could bring home this runner from second base. This would be the first time in 4 innings that the Lobos have scored a run, and so that would reestablish momentum in a whole nother way going to the bottom of the 7th.
Totally. The defense is all behind Ross Frank. The offense has done solid, but not necessarily to lock everything up. I don't know pitch count. Ross Frank has faced more or less the minimum, only 2 extra guys added to his day. So not a lot of batters faced. I would doubt that he would be too much, but he does have quite a few Ks, so those counts might have ran a little deep. 2-0. Last thing you want is for him to run out of pitches to throw. 3-0, that's what happened with Elvis Conte, and then a 4-run rally in the bottom of the 7th. Got the win for the Expos. So 3-0 now. Carter Norris delivering to Kieran Lawing. That is a strike, so we move to 3-1. Norris, tremendous control over that fastball. He's definitely more polished than you would expect out of a Legion player because he's in college. 3-1. Pitch. fouled off the strike, and we run full. Able to crawl his way back into the count now is Carter Norris.
Look who's next to us, Albert.
Coach Torvey.
Coach Torvey
And Coach Sullivan.
Coach Sullivan.
Yeah.
Meeting of the minds next to us. We're the meeting of the voices, I think.
This is like the Star Wars scene when they're in the Senate. That's grounded over to third. And throw back to first. Not in time. Hey, it gets away. What's going on? The right fielder picks it up. Throw to second. Not going to get him. So an error allows the... No, I call that an infield single. And an error allows the runner to advance an extra base. An error on the third baseman, Calderon, his second of the game.
Calderon's really had a hard game today with the 2 errors. Game's not over. See what transpires here.
There's
but
still
the Lobos,
nobody out.
Yeah, are in a golden position now to break this game wide open behind Ross Frank.
And Phoenix West is now up. He's done pretty well. He reached on into the other error by Calderon last inning. Came around. That is popped up deep into right. It's going out of here. 3-run dinger from Phoenix West. He breaks it wide open. 7-0 now, Lobos.
Go crazy, Lobos fans. Go crazy. Phoenix West takes it over the wall and splashes the ball into Rapid Creek on the 4th of July. Way to go, Phoenix. And the Lobos are up 7-0. And they are flying high now and looking like the 3rd place team here on July 4th, 2023.
It sure does seem like that. It's the first extra base hit even allowed by Norris at all. He's got to come back out and collect himself. He's going to stay on the mound. But that was a monumental moment and that was a very tall home run. He had hit that so hard that went very high comparative to what would you expect from an ideal launch angle.
And this ballpark has a tall fence.
It does. It's 15. It's like 12 feet out there and right, I think.
You can't just jump up and bring it back. I mean, this is a real fence here.
It's 12 feet out there and right, I think. And the part he hit it to over the Pioneer Bank and Trust logo out there, at least 350. So that ball likely went 360, 365. Swing and a miss. Now full count here. Delivering it to the shortstop, Brady Hall. Hall has a triple and a walk in this game, 2 runs. Inside ball, full count. Or no, not full count. Walk. Hall did steal second back in the 2nd inning. It should be noted that as far as people trying to steal on the catcher, McGinty, they are 1 for 2. A stolen base, a caught stealing on Kieran Lawing back in the 1st ended that inning. Taken off the plate. I'm going to personally construct an all-tournament team because I have seen every game.
And I can't wait to see it.
And Phoenix West maybe on that team.
He certainly helped us cut the case.
Yeah. Well, that brings his RBIs up to 10 in the tournament. Swing and a miss. He's done pretty well. My only worry was before he moved over to first, there were some defensive miscues at third before Mollett and Phoenix switcheroonied around Game 4. So 1-1. Still looking for his first out is Norris in this inning. That's in the dirt. He doesn't know where it is. And going to second will be the runner. So Hall scampers over.
The next level baseball team has just arrived at Fitzgerald Stadium. They're walking towards the opposite side of the complex.
Okay.
They are in their red jerseys. And this is a championship night. Big game coming up. The Hard Hats and NLB.
That is going to be hit over to second. Ayala throws high but handled well enough, so out number 1 is recorded. Hall will move over to third. Lobos still trying to tack on some more runs here. I was caught completely off guard by that West thing. Norris had been cooking. I thought that he was gonna maybe allow a ground out and a sac fly to get one run on the board. Was not expecting a towering shot to right to come off of West's bat. He had not hit anything more than a double in this tourney before that, I believe. 0-1. That's going to be lined into right, and it'll get down. So coming in to score is Hall. Going for second is the runner. It gets past the right fielder, and Arriola going to have to throw in now. He's off to third. Stand-up triple, or a single and an error. Double and an error for the right fielder, Eric Bergquist. Lobos put on another one on the board, and another man reaches third.
The Lobos learned some painful lessons earlier in this tournament about letting teams hang around. They have fixed that problem. They showed it with that 11-10 win yesterday, and they have shown it again today as they keep tacking on runs and making it more and more challenging for Pueblo Azteca to pull something out in the bottom of this final inning.
I do feel pretty bad for Norris. He nearly got to the finish line on a great start, or a great relief appearance. That's blooped, and it'll get down. So coming in to score is going to be Bergquist, and that is Aiden Nelson putting that one into right, RBI single. And Norris not going to receive a visit. He's just out there. There is a man in the bullpen out there in left, warming up. But Norris, I thought he was the ace for this team. He did pretty well. They are going to come talk to him. And the bullpen doors are opened? No, not necessarily. Yeah, no, they're going to open up the doors. So he's coming in. Carter Norris is going to leave the game. He did a great game through about 4 2/3, and then trying to get that final 3 outs here in the 7th was one too many for Norris. He allows 5, earns 4.
This Lobos team is such an impressive offensive unit, and you just have to tip your hat. You look at the Lobos, I mean, they have scored 9 runs against an outstanding Pueblo Azteca pitching staff. They scored 11 runs yesterday against Pueblo, so they have scored now 20 runs in the last 48 hours against the Pueblo Azteca team. That is truly staggering. And then you look at Rocky Mountain, they put up 15 runs in that 15-13 classic over Premier West on Sunday morning. And on top of that, they scored 8 runs in the 6-run win over Missoula in the tournament opener. This Rocky Mountain team, they score runs.
Yeah, so let me get that real quick. We have number 2 subbing in here for Pueblo on the mound. That is, Matthew Casillas, the younger brother of Mike. He also played third base for a solid portion of the tournament, though Calderon took over that today. And so,
by the way, they did not rule that hit a little while ago as a double plus an error. They just called it a triple.
Okay, well then a triple.
And the only error committed by Pueblo Azteca today, officially, was the foul ball that was played by Calderon.
That's hard to. Oh yeah, no. But what about the error off the throw to first that got away and allowed the runners to advance? There should be 2.
Okay, well it didn't show up on the board.
Yeah.
And they have been tracking it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it feels like there should be 2 because that was a definite error.
Yeah.
And the other one in foul territory was also a definite error.
Yeah, no argument from this broadcaster, but officially, just going officially, 1 error for each team today.
It is you. We don't have any problems. We're on Midco. They provide everything, and it works out great. We haven't had any connection issues at all. It's just you. So that's a strike. 0-1 for this new pitcher, Matthew Casillas. To recap the night for Carter Norris, he goes 5 innings in relief. He does earn 6 runs, and he strikes out 5. The ball kept in front of McGinty, and that's a ball. So 1-1 is the count. The Hooded Thief, they're loving it. One. That's a strike. 1-2 now. 1-2. I gotta say, no matter what, this Pueblo team was incredible. They came into the tournament at a 19-3, I believe. They leave the tournament at 22-6. This is just a really tough field. It has nothing to do with them. I mean, they have done everything. They started out 3-0, did a great job all over. Rocky Mountain seems to have their number, though. Ross Frank putting together an incredible performance. There's a K. Matthew Casillas gets the first strikeout for his night, gets to the first out period, and that'll bring up another pinch hitter.
Number 19, Ridley Cox.
Oh, did I miss something? Oh yeah, I missed an RBI single by Nelson. Forgot to mark that down, so yeah, okay. That brings up Cox, yeah, that makes sense. The 9-hole hitter, 1-0. That is taken off of the plate, so 2-0 now. There's a man on first. Into the dirt, so it's now 3-0. Casillas in danger of walking Cox and bringing up Eliason for the second time this inning. That is it. So a walk will be issued. The runner will go to second. And Nate Eliason going to come back out for his second at-bat of the 7th.
I'm just really impressed to see this Lobos team keep the foot on the gas. This was the problem they had earlier in this tournament. It's not their problem anymore. They continue to relentlessly add runs and just approach every at-bat with the utmost of importance.
All right, so 2 outs, strike number 1, swinging there on Eliason from Casillas. I don't know where Mike is. He was leadoff most of this tourney. He leads the entire tournament in stolen bases, the Hooded Thief. The Hooded Bandit, as I was calling him. Somebody in the chat, that gets by. I don't think McGinty knew it wasn't in his glove until he looked into it. He kind of did a Scooby-Doo thing where, you know, they all run in the air and then they look down and they realize that they're above the ground and start falling.
You're talking about Hooded Bandits and Scooby-Doo. I'm thinking recently about the Hamburglar, as McDonald's right now is celebrating Grimace's birthday.
Not anymore.
I thought about the Hamburglar.
We're in July now.
No, I'm still getting Grimace birthday bags when I go through the drive-thru.
They might be running out of them, but it's no longer his birthday celebration month.
Okay, all right.
The shake is off the menu.
Oh,
1-2. That's high.
Albert.
He had it all of June.
Okay. Good to know. I'm just wondering if we'll ever see a celebration of the Hamburglar.
I don't celebrate felons in this country. 2-2. Swing and a miss on a really good curveball there from Casillas, and he strands 2. The Lobos score 5 in the top of the 7th. They break this wide open, and out to finish what he started, Ross Frank pitching a 2-hit shutout.
For the record, I think stealing a hamburger would be a misdemeanor and not a felony. Just had to clear that up. Okay.
You know that guy's up to stuff. It's cereal. He keeps on doing it. Certainly, after a certain point, it upgrades to a felony. After your 15th robbery.
I don't know what to say. Let's get back to baseball. It's just
Okay,
funny.
all right, all right. We'll talk the legality of McDonald's lore in a minute. Ross Frank is pitching a masterpiece. He is 6 innings deep to a 2-hit shutout, not allowing a walk or a hit by pitch. His defense only making one error, and he's pitched fantastic so far. He's going to try to finish that shutout against the 3, 4, and 5 for the Pueblo Azteca.
Pueblo Azteca with a fine tournament, even if they're not able to rally for 9 or 10 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. Nonetheless, they have managed to go through full play with a record of 3-2. And they've had some impressive wins, like an 8-0 win over Missoula.
That's hit right up the middle, handled by the shortstop. Hall throws to first in time. So there's one out in the inning.
An 8-7 win over Papillion, post 32, and on top of that, Pueblo.
Next up, number 14, Jason Ariola.
They were just right there.
By the way, if Rocky Mountain
swept Papillion.
if Rocky Mountain finishes here, they will finish the highest-ranked Colorado team of the 3 that come here over the Azteca and Premier West.
That's right. They'll be the highest team.
They'll take the Colorado crown
from the Centennial State. Yeah, they kind of will have the. And they will be a top 3 team in this tournament. And Pueblo Azteca, no matter what happens here, they have assured themselves a top half finish in the field.
Well, they'll be at half.
Oh, at half. That's right.
2-1. I know it's not what they want, and this would be their 3rd straight loss after starting 3-0. That's grounded hard. Ooh, sliding, making the play is Phoenix West. That's a good play there. I'll hang a star on that one. Phoenix West slides down and and scoops it up. Throws to first. Ross Frank covers.
You know, if this is a trial and you're trying to determine if Phoenix West should be on your all-tournament team, I'd say he has made a very impressive set of closing arguments.
He has. So 1-0 now. The final, the coming down to the last out, it's Sean McGinty. So it's 1-0 for McGinty. That's a strike delivered by Frank. Frank going for his 2nd win of the tournament. He got the 8-2 win over Missoula in the first game of the tournament for Rocky Mountain. That's a strike as well. So 1-2. And we'll see. Can he finish out the game? 1-2. That is not strike 3, off by a couple inches. 2-2 now. That is a swing and a miss. Ross Frank finishes a 2-hit masterpiece shutout of the Azteca, and then it is going to be the end for the Azteca. They get the final score here is 9-0 for the Rocky Mountain Lobos. They claim 3rd place. They finished 4-3 at the tournament, and then the championship is going to come up between the 4-0 post 22 Hard Hats and the 3-1 next level baseball team, nationally ranked out of North Carolina, in just a minute here. We're going to hope to see you then. I think it might be a little bit later. I don't know. I doubt they're going to push up the start from a 4:30.
It's still going to be 4:30.
4:30 start no matter what. We're going to have some break. So, eat some lunch, prepare yourself something here. And I will see you at about probably 4:10-ish. On the broadcast there for your championship of the 48th annual Firecracker tournament. Final score here in the 3rd place game. Rocky Mountain Lobos 9, Azteca 0. Ross Frank finishes with 7 innings pitched, no runs allowed, only 2 hits allowed, and 7 strikeouts in a shutout of the Pueblo Azteca. I'll see you in about an hour.